What's up, family? Welcome back to DolFans United, the platform for DolFans. You heard me? It's your boy DP. We back in the house, man. Let's get it. All right, so last video, let's address something real quick. I talked about the beef, all right, with Parker and with Mike Thomas, but I didn't really get into why, all right? I didn't get into why, so I want to go ahead and get into that. But before I get into that, y'all see me, right? First time without a hat on. First time without a hat. Just figured I'd do something different this time around. Cause some of y'all haven't seen me without no hat on. All right, but this is how I look without a hat. All right, whoop-de-doo. By the way, I am my own barber, so I did cut my hair today. Wife loves it. That's all I care about. Yeah, if you have any opinions about my hairline or my receding hairline or whatever, or my barber skills, you could put them in the bottom. I'm saving $25 a cut, so I don't really care. Been cutting my hair since 2008 though, so it's been a while. So skills have gotten a little sharper at least since then. I am by no means a beast. But I get the job done. All right, so yeah, so let's talk about the beef. There was a poll that came out on Instagram, and I don't know who started it. I don't know who came out with it, but it was on some like multiple choice choose A or B, and they were like, well, is it harder to defend the pass against Michael Thomas, or is it harder to catch a pass on Stephon Gilmore? And Devontae Parker seen it, and he put A for it's harder to catch a pass on Stephon Gilmore. Now, we know that Stephon Gilmore and Parker have had like a little thing going on in games. All right, so we know the last time Parker seen Gilmore, he gave Gilmore the business, and we had those memes. I'm hoping I could put this meme up. I'm trying to get this meme for you guys, showing how Parker was sunning Gilmore. The meme sums it up pretty much. So, yeah, I mean, he was the only one that got Gilmore last year. Gilmore was shutting everybody down until you seen Parker in the 17th game, and Parker just gave him a spanking. All right, so because of that, he put that in jest. He's saying it was harder to catch a pass on Gilmore to add a little more to that rivalry. To Mike Thomas, he had a problem with it. That's when the beef came in, and that's when I went on my soliloquy about Drew Brees, because he was saying that Parker's just not that good. He can't even get a seat at the table. Blah 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 blah. And that's when I went in, and Parker held his own. So I'm proud of Parker for that. He showed that little bit of goon, that little bit of dog that you want to see. He's a quiet guy on the field, but I mean, if you follow his Snapchat, you know he's not a quiet guy. In real life, he just ain't no quiet guy for real. But hey, that is what it is there. I just wanted to go ahead and fill y'all in for those who did not know what was going on with that whole Twitter beef or Instagram beef. Just wanted to fill you guys in. Now let's get into part 2 of why you're actually here, on what we should expect from the Dolphins this year, all right? What we should expect. All right, now this is part 2. I'm not going to do a recap. So if you didn't catch part 1, I'm going to put the link up top here. Please go watch it. I want you to watch my videos anyway. I need more views, or I want more views, however you want to look at it. I'm going to put the link right there at the top. Please go watch that, then come back here, all right, and then watch this video, and then you'll be all caught up. That's great, right? I mean, it's Memorial Day anyway. You're not doing too much today, more than likely. You're probably sitting at home, just had some barbecue or something like that. So watch the videos. Watch videos. And watch all of them. Heck, I got about 8 videos out. You can watch all of them if you like. All right? So put your likes in the bottom. Subscribe. If you dislike it, go ahead, throw a dislike. I'm with it. No hard feelings. All right? So let's go ahead. Now, today I'm going to just talk a little bit about our organization as a whole and why I feel like we're moving in the right direction. Okay, so let's start at the top. We got Greer, right? We have Greer, we have Flores. Greer, from what I'm seeing, all right, this is from my eye, this is my opinion. From what I'm seeing, the man just looks like he's doing things a little differently than some of the GMs in the past and some of the VPs in the past. He's also learning from their mistakes and his. Okay, now is he human? Yes, he's not always going to make the right pick, even moving forward. They're not always going to sign the perfect free agent every time. But that's everybody. Everybody hits and misses. Okay, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm more so talking about just organizationally how they're doing things. Prime example, a few years ago, they had Christian Wilkinson, right? That they got him in the first round. A couple days before, it was reported that they really like him and that's who they plan on getting. That didn't happen this year. Okay? All right? We didn't know who they were getting this year. Like, it was just, they were throwing you in every direction. The latest reports were like, okay, they're getting Justin Herbert if he's there. And when Justin Herbert was there, they took Tua. Okay? They got the guy that I wanted to get. Okay? Which I didn't think they would get him because I just didn't think the Dolphins had it in them early on. I didn't think the Dolphins had it in them early on to do this kind of smoke screening. All right. Eventually, I caught on, which I made a video about that. Eventually, I caught on, and I started to believe that maybe this is a smoke screen that they're throwing out, and indeed it was. But that's something that they made an effort to do differently than in years past. All right, because we don't know the Dolphins to be able to hold water, but man, they really, really, really got us good. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. And then hiring the right coach is another aspect, and I believe they did that in Brian Flores. All right, I just like the man's makeup. Okay, you watch his videos. If you go on any of the Dolphins social media, they have a video up where it talks about Brian Flores' roots and things like that. I just like the makeup of the guy. I like what he did last year. I like that he's a tough-nosed guy, but he also loves his players. You know, there's just a lot to like. There's a lot to like. Definitely like the fact that the man was in scouting. Okay? I love that because that means that he goes the extra mile with players trying to figure out who they are. He doesn't just care about, oh, does the player fit my system? Yes, then sign him. But he wants to know the makeup, the character. He wants to know all the little things that help make that player great or that can help that player be great and seeing the potential in them. I really love that. Okay? So we have those two things in place. I also love the fact that although he's loyal, that he'll make changes even if it's uncomfortable. All right? So he fired the offensive coordinator who was one of his good friends. He was willing to let go of the defensive coordinator and hire from within, and then hiring Chan Gailey, obviously. All right, and come to find out, it was because the offense was just too complex. All right, which there were reports of that before. I think I might have even mentioned it before myself. Offense was just too complex. They were throwing too much at those new guys. Plus, I gave you the theory that they wanted to do something a little different because they wanted to throw something different at the defenses. All right, so that they're not just knowing what the Dolphins are planning on doing because they were running the Patriots offense. So now it helps the defense have to learn a whole new scheme for the Dolphins. All right, it puts more attention on that. Now they have to spend more time in that area. All right, I did a whole video on that. So please go check that out as well. I'll put the link at the top. And then you'll get to know more of why I'm saying the things I'm saying. But I like that hire as well. And I like that he was willing to do that because there's some coaches that we had in the past that weren't willing to do that. They weren't willing to put themselves in that uncomfortable situation. Okay? They just were not willing to do it. I heard that Don Shula, God rest his heart, got fired in part because he didn't want to let go of some of his coordinators. He just didn't want to do that to them. He was that loyal. And there's nothing wrong with loyalty, but when it comes to getting the job done, if they're not executing the way you need them to execute, you got to be willing to let them go for the betterment of the team. And although it's cliche, Brian Flores is definitely for the betterment of the team. If it's not going to make the team better, he doesn't need you on his team. All right? I love that. Then we get down to the players, all right? I believe we have a quarterback, a bridge quarterback in place that we can win with. We got some running backs that we can win with. We got wide receivers we can win with. In my opinion, PFF doesn't think so. I think they said that we have the 29th ranked wide receivers. That's nonsense to me. They must not have looked at Preston Williams much. All right. Offensive line is serviceable. We got some guys, Eric Flowers, Ted Karras, rookies that we have, Hunt, all those guys. All right. So we got some guys there that I believe if they're coached up right, we can win with them. Defense, we got some new guys coming in. We've got some of our older guys that are still on the team that I believe will take the next step. McMillan, guys like that. Defensive line, I think we got some guys, Agba, Wilkinson. I think he could take the next step. So we'll see. You know, defensive backs, that's probably the strength of the team right there. Okay? We got Howard, we got Jones, we got Rowe. Man, it's looking good. McCain, it's looking real good for us. We got the other Jones that we just drafted. It's looking real good for us on the defensive side as well. All right, you mesh all that together. All right, why can't you expect 9 wins? Why can't you expect 9 wins from all of that I just said? Please, if you have an opposition to what I'm saying, if you're opposed to what I'm saying, please put in the comments below why you feel like the team will only win 5 wins, get only 5 wins, 6 wins, whatever. However you feel, just let me know. Oh, I feel the team will get this many wins because of this. Because I'm seeing some talent. On paper, me, personally, I'm seeing some talent. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that we got a coach and a GM that's willing to do whatever it takes to win, and they're going about it the right way. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. All right? That's what it looks like to me. All right? I can't settle for mediocrity. There's this thing, it's kind of funny, but there's this thing, this syndrome that somebody came up with. I don't know who to give credit to. I've heard Omar Kelly say it first. It's BFS, Battered Fan Syndrome. And I got a good friend of mine. We were talking, my brother, he and I were talking, and we're like, man, how do you feel about Tua? You know, Tua's doing great, blah, blah, blah. He was like, man, I don't know, man, because, you know, is our team going to take care of him? Is our team going to help him, put him in position? Are they going to coach him up well? Like, I just don't know how to feel about the guy because he's on the Dolphins. You know, and I understand the mentality because the last 20 years have been the worst for us for the most part. I mean, we've had like, 3-4 winning seasons in the last 20 years. It's not good, right? But we got to be like quarterbacks. You throw an interception, if the same route comes up the next play and it's the same look, you got to be willing to throw it again. You got to be willing to throw it again. You can't be scared. All right, it's the same thing. When this new season starts, we got to wipe last season away, and we got to focus on what's in front of us. Not what's behind us, not what we've been, but what we're looking to be now. All right? That battered fan syndrome, it is real, okay? But we have to have faith in our team, one, and we have to set standards for our team. We can't allow them to string us along in mediocrity. We can't. All right? So we have to say, okay, look, we see where you guys are headed. Maybe not be Super Bowl, but we demand 9 wins. And if we don't get 9 wins, then there's a problem here. Heads got to start to roll because, I mean, unless injuries happen, I mean, there's reasonable things that can happen. All right? Guys can get severely hurt. We could lose 6-7 guys, and then that derails the whole season. That can happen. All right? There's only so much next man ups you can do. Okay? There's only so much next man up you can do. You can say next man up, but man, sometimes the guy behind is just not going to be as good, and because the guy is an otherworldly player. All right, you couldn't next man up the guy behind Cam Wake back in the day. Like, what guy's going to take on that kind of responsibility? You know what I mean? Like, that's 11 and a half, 12 and a half sacks gone out of the season. Like, who are you going to get that from behind him? You're expecting him to get those sacks. Otherwise, the guy behind him would have been starting. So I understand that. But we got to demand better for our team. We have to. We have to. And it's because we have the right coach, we got the right GM, we got the right players in place. Okay? Will Tua start? No. Maybe next year. But we got the right players in place. Think about this. This team that we have now has created competition at every level. Okay? At every position, they've created competition. All right? This is the type of team that can win games for you. When you create this level of competition where even X has to fight for being the number one boundary corner, all right, as good as he's been, where Byron Jones coming in has to fight for being the number one boundary corner, where Howard has to fight with Breida now, all right, where Tua has to fight with Rosen, which has to fight with Fitzpatrick. That does nothing but create depth. That's all it is. They are trying to be deep. So when somebody goes down, the other guy is battle tested because he know he had to fight and he lost that position, but he had to fight his behind off to try to win it. So now he's ready to go in. He's ready to go in because they are battle tested, and that's what they're creating. They're not trying to be soft anymore. We used to be soft, man. We used to go up against the Ravens and get pummeled because we were soft. They're not trying to be soft. Breaking news, they are not trying to be soft. All right? You seen the offensive line they trying to put together? They're not trying to be soft. They're trying to be a smash mouth football team. All right? So if they're trying to be different, then we need to try to be different. All right? No more batter fan syndrome. No more batter fan syndrome for us. Okay? We got to expect our team to do well. We got to hope our team can do well. We got to continue to cheer them on. But we can't live in mediocrity anymore. We just can't do it. And we can't allow them to put us through that. All right? The next 20 years can't be like the last 20 years. All right? So if they're going to change, and if they're going to show change, then we got to show change. All right? That's all I got for y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Happy Memorial Day.